Hey all friends and welcome to the channel, Bob here, and today I'm playing some more Bard's Tale 4. I've been playing it for quite a while now and I thought I would give an impressions video on the game. I've been playing now for, I don't know, 15-20 hours probably. I've got no idea how far through the game I am, so it's not a review, it's just an impressions video. And I thought I'd kind of start here really, because I think this gives you a perfect impression of what the game's all about. Essentially, it's very traditional medieval fantasy, I would say, but like more like Western fantasy. And what I mean by that is, what do I mean by that? Different to like The Witcher 3, for example, which is based on like Polish folklore more. So names and monsters and things and are all quite different. The atmosphere is quite different. Whereas this I think is very much traditional. I don't think I've got the sound turned up actually. No, hope you can hear the music. Yeah, very much a traditional fantasy game, kind of based in an almost alternate Britain. It feels like the characters have Scottish and English accents. There's also a couple of times I've noticed a reference to a real life place in the UK, which was quite weird, but it's definitely an alternate fantasy setting. I think also this kind of gives you an idea of the atmosphere of the game and the visuals, the sounds. I think it's very atmospheric. I mean, I found it very immersive, which is kind of one of the most important things when I'm playing the game. When I'm playing a game like this, particularly. It just feels nice to be in. There's a lovely musical soundtrack that plays throughout the game. These guys are, you can bet on Sloth. I guess it's a race. It's Sloth race, yeah. But there's lots of that sort of thing going on. People sitting around doing stuff. People standing around singing. I'm not sure if that lady's singing, but yeah, but people sitting around singing and talking, that kind of thing. So it's quite a good atmosphere. It feels really good. And what you see here from the look is, again, traditionally what you're going to find. People's buildings, people's clothing, the settlements, all that kind of thing. And they're going to feel very medieval in their tone. This here is like there is unlike there kind of was, I think, when you got high level spells, but this is a stone circle lets you teleport to other stone circles. This is the only one I've unlocked yet, so that's a thing. I think I want to start off with, again, the visuals are, as I said, the atmosphere is really good. It's quite immersive. Set of headphones, lots of nice ambient sounds and music. It's really, really good. Visually, it's not a AAA game. It's a Kickstarter game, so expect limitations there. The first thing I'm going to start off with on a gameplay front is actually what you see here is what you see me doing here, moving around, is very deceptive, because this game is pretty much, this might sound weird, but it's a grid based free roaming game, because there's no real time there's no real time combat as such. But where it's quite weird is that when you wander around, you can see, like as in Bard's Tale, you couldn't see monsters, so you wander around and suddenly you would be attacked. And this is basically the same, but you can see the monsters. It's really weird. That was the hardest thing I had getting my head around initially, was the fact that okay, that's fine. I thought, where have I gone? It's fine. Yeah, the hardest thing it took me to get my head around initially was the fact that even though it's a free roaming game, you can kind of walk around the world. It's at heart, it's still a grid based game, so everything is still kind of done in grids, particularly when you encounter monsters. It's quite nice actually, because you've got the free roaming aspect of a non-grid based game, but what you've got is, you've got the combat, you've got the turn-based combat and the way that you initiate combat of a grid-based game. It's quite weird, and I did find it hard to get my head around it, because I was thinking to myself, let's go over here and have a look and see what I can find, or let's go over there. But actually, the levels are constructed very similar to like a grid or a tile based game, where you just take one step at a time, in the sense that the game, and that brings me on to the next point, is the game's quite linear, so it pushes you through the world kind of in one direction almost. There isn't much, there's exploration to be done within the map here. I'll show you the map. So there's exploration to be done within the map, but not really just for exploration's sake. You're generally moving on to the next section when you're exploring. So that was that's quite interesting the way that works. I'll try and show you the combat in a sec. So that's the one thing to get your head around initially. Maybe it's just me, but one of the problems I had was that I was trying to play the game as though it was like free roaming. I could go where I want and do what I want, and it was mostly to do with the combat, the way the combat's initiated. But I will show you that. Now I haven't been here. This is a new section. This area has mostly been revolving around. There's lots of puzzles in the game. First of all, not a huge amount of combat as you would expect. Certainly not in comparison to the original Bard's Tale games. But there is certainly a fair amount of puzzles going on. They're generally quite simple. There was even like a Sudoku puzzle at some point in one of the places I was in. So this puzzle here is basically you need to get this little fairy to go to here, and then that activates the gates to open them up. So up until now we've mostly had single. The birds with this bird here makes the fairy go straight back to the way she came. This one here will make the birds pointing to the left, so it'll make it go left. So I'm not sure if I need to have two lefts. Oh, there aren't two lefts here. That's interesting. What I've noticed, if you have a go back and a left, it will send them diagonally. I don't think that's what was needed here. Okay, let's just test that and see what the fairy does. So she's gone diagonally there. That's weird. So what will this do to her? That will bend her mind. I'd imagine. Let's check. You have to shoo her. I'll say her. It could be him. I was confused. Look, I like the way you went. Now what? Now it's confused. What about if I move? Okay. There you go. So what I needed to do was to confuse her here, and then push her on myself. Okay, I need to remember that pushing on myself bit, because that stumped me before. Oh. Well, that was a cool, unexpected thing for you to see. I did love the atmosphere. Again, graphically, it's not, top of the range, but that's fine. I quite like, as you know, I quite like graphically older looking games. And I just like there's a lot of atmosphere. That was quite funny. You see it fall out of the sky. Oleg Shimanovsky. Okay.
Your pardon, friends. Can you tell me what land this is? I'm to meet my friend Vlada on the banks of the River Amur, and I believe I have.
Brilliant.
My traveling companion. We were separated after our last adventure, but promised we would wait.
Okay, Oleg.
Oh, too bad. It is the river of my birth, where my parents, Peter and Svetlana, raised me and taught me the ways of the fourth school. I have been trying. Hey! How wonderful! I have always wanted to visit. Not now, however. Not until I have returned home. Thank you, friends. And if you see my friend Vlago, tell him Oleg still seeks him. Oleg Shimanovsky.
Is he going to take off? Brilliant. A spellcaster that takes off like a rocket. That's brilliant. Certain mushrooms release spores which fairies confuse with birds. Okay. I'm not sure if this is a particularly good section. because there doesn't seem to be much in the way of combat, which I wanted to show you, but that's fine. I can stop the game at some point and we'll go and see some combat. So another puzzle here. I need to get the thing to here. So activate. So if I shoo the fairy, will that... No. Okay, shoo it. Oops, no. Sorry, fairy. That was shoo. Activate. Okay, so she opened that gate. Okay, I'm going to go and find some combat, and then what I'll do is I will come back and carry on. Hello guys, welcome back to this video. This is kind of what I talk about, the immersion, like the music playing. You can see birds flying above the tower up there. See into the distance, even though it's like a, you know, an illusionary distance really. I just thought I would record this bit. Yeah. Because it looks really cool. I do need to eat some food. It might be worth going into some of the mechanics. When you go into combat, you know, when you take damage, you don't regenerate the health, so you need to eat food. You can make food for yourself. There is a crafting section where you can make food for yourself. You can make potions and stuff. You have to find the recipes. So yeah, that's a thing. This is your skill trees. Generally each class has like an attack, attack, defense, subterfuge. Well, not subterfuge actually. Warrior has attack, defense, and then generally there's a class specific one, and then there's crafting. Attack is all of your attack abilities basically. Some of them increase your strength and that kind of thing as well. Defense is what types of armor you can wear. Command for the warrior particularly is to do with taunting, that kind of thing, being warrior-y, if you like. My character, who's a practitioner or a mage or a wizard or a spellcaster, spellcraft is all of the attack spells and stuff. You do unlock these passives, so I'm currently a Grand Conjurer, but I think when you open all of these ones, you can then become an Archmage, which sounds pretty awesome, a bit like the original Bard's Tale, I guess. Defense, same sort of thing. Meditation, this is to do with spell points, gaining spell points. Blade casting I haven't looked at, so it seems to be yeah, it seems to be exactly what it says on the tin. It's like a spell casting, you know, fighter type thing. What else have we got? Here's the Bard. I love the Bard. Bards are excellent. I love that pose when they play music. It's sort of like, you know, it's really good. My Bard is mainly a Bard at the moment, so I'm unlocking all of the Bard skills. The very important one to me seems to be gaining... I need to move down here actually. Yeah, the reduced cooldowns is been pretty good, but also gaining spell points. So there's one of I can't remember which one it is, but one of these. Is it that one? Max spell points +1. It might be that one. There's one of these spells that give. Is it in here? No. One of his songs basically gives you a spell point. And building your spell points up on your wizards, I've noticed, is quite important. That can be very important. Let's just soak up the atmosphere here. There seems to be some sort of like cattle grazing over on that side there. That's pretty awesome. I'm not sure what this is. This is all new to me. As I'm exploring, you're seeing what's going on. Oh, hang on. These are actually creatures. Okay. The other thing to look out for as well is that there are these grappling hooks above your head sometimes, and they can take you up to different areas. So here's the combat. So let's what I was going to do, I was going to change my spells for oh, that's the song, spell song. Yeah, I was going to change my spells for I was going to get rid of Dragon's Fire actually for War Strike. I kind of feeling I need to up my DPS a bit. I've also just started to come across characters that have armour, and that's become a bit problematic. There we go. There we go. So if you... okay, so you get a spell point every turn. Oh, are they going first? No. You get a spell point every turn. Let's start off with the casters. The blue, this bar is your spell points. Recording. Basically, you can meditate to get an extra one next turn, but that you have to channel that, so that means you have to kind of meditate for one turn to get that. But your bard needs to drink booze, and he can get drunk as well, which is he's drunk. Is he drunk? Oh bugger. Okay. So I'm going to use this so that next turn they'll get an extra spell point. So building your spell points out of your mages, I've found, is to be quite important in combat. This dude's got 15 armour.
Ready.
So I like this where you show it's a picture of someone showing you their bottom. So I'm going to taunt him because I think generally I need to be tanking him. Tanking's a bit weird at the moment. I'm not feeling as though my tank is a very good tank, but we'll see as that goes on. Maybe I need to start opening up some more points to raise his hit points and stuff. I'm not sure, but I've got Sundering Smash that reduces his armour. So that whatever damage you do, the armour score takes it off. So that can be a bit annoying. So I don't think the mages will do anything this turn. What I do want to do is do Rain of Arrows, there are some bugs in the game I've found, like with Rain of Arrows. It says at the start of your next turn, Rain of Arrows will do the damage. That seems to be how it's worded. But I have found that that's not always the case. Sometimes Rain of Arrows doesn't go off. Sometimes it goes off at the wrong time. So there does seem to be a few bugs. It covers 3 squares, so I'll do it on the archer. It should hit this this priest as well. I think I'll get my character to meditate. Actually, no, I think I'll get Crux to meditate. 2 of these characters are ones that I've picked up. 2 of them are ones that I've made. I think I made them because I wanted to put the skills in certain options. Maybe what I need to do is make a warrior actually. So I can put the points where I want, so maybe you'll feel a bit more tanky. But you can't fill your party up straight away, so like extra party slots unlock as you go along. So I will end turn. These green things at the top are the I can't remember what they call them. So the archery skill went off. Like the bard playing the music. The archery skill went off at the right time. That was pretty good. Yeah, my tank is already feeling less than tanky, I have to say. Yeah, so these orange diamonds here, they're my goes. So my whole party's got 4 turns. So some abilities take more than 1. So this one takes 2. This one takes 1. I'll use that on him. What's quite good is that your casters have spells that use their mana rather than their turn. That's quite good. So we're just gonna. I think I'm just gonna basically war strike. Gosh, I could summon I could do summons actually. Should I summon? Just to show you something different. I'll summon I've got a spell called Gate, which summons in a monster. Let's put that. Yeah. Takes 1 turn to channel, so I need to wait for that. I've still got 2 turns actually. Did we just sunder again? I felt that we just sundered, didn't we? Or was that the turn before? I will drink a potion.
Really?
And I think that's it. Seems like the shield wall spell's quite weird.
I stand strong.
There we go. So there's the shade. Is it a shade? I'm not sure actually. We'll move it. We'll change it for my tank. Oh, that's okay. That didn't work, did it? Okay, that attack completely missed for some reason. Not sure why. But you can summon. There are other types of summons as well. My bard hasn't done much. I think we'll probably let's heal up the dude. I think we'll probably kill this dude.
Whatever.
I'm not sure what he just took damage from. I think it was one of my passives. I think it's my Grand Conjurer passive maybe.
Yep.
I think that'll do. Okay, I think we won this fight. This guy's tough though. This guy's very tough. These are opportunity points. That's what these are called. What can we do this turn?
I suppose.
Well, we can both channel War Strike on him, I guess.
Who, me?
Yeah, I think we can just DPS him. Let's see if this attack actually works this time. Yeah, it worked that time. Maybe I clicked in the wrong square or something. I need to make some healing potions as well at some point. Okay. And that was combat. A bit of combat. That was pretty straightforward actually. What I've found is that what have we got? Bluebell Seed. What I found is that some combats can be a lot more tactical. So like moving your characters around becomes more of a thing. Moving them out the way. There's quite a mob that does like a beam attack, and it has to charge it up. So I quite like using Levitate to move it to a different square because it can hit its own characters. You see. So just move it behind its characters and its own party members, and it hits them. Yeah. So let's have a look up here. It does seem to be something up here. Hello. This game is amazing. You know, I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Just wandering around, and you find a tower that looks ruined. There's someone in it. You know. I love the design. I love the way the game's laid out. And as I said, everything about it, the presentation is very atmospheric. Brian of Dawn. Okay.
Who goes there?
Hey Brian, you got red hair, my friend.
Ah, adventurous. To think, I should be relieved to see heretics and afraid to see my own kind. How the world has changed.
Oh.
Wait. I know.
Brian might want to join us.
I have had a crisis of faith. No, my faith in the Swordfather is unshaken.
The voice acting's
But
pretty
my faith
decent
in
as
the
well.
Temple, that is another matter. A paladin's duty is to protect the weak, not to punish them. But that is not how it is now. I was commanded to root out some heretics. I found an old woman healing a wounded dwarf. When I refused to take them in, my fellows tried to arrest me. I thought,
oh, Brian.
how could they not? Horrors from the prophecy stalk the earth. Good men die, and cruel men thrive. And the temple has changed too. We have always believed that our God was the one God, but we never killed people for thinking otherwise. We welcome them to see the truth. Now, We hang them, burn them, turn them out of...
There's typical. There's a typical. You get quite a theme generally in fantasy games, and that's that religion is generally quite bad. Which, you know, I won't go into that. My opinions on that, but there always seems to be some kind of priesthood or religious order that's gone bad, and it's, you know, not acting as it should be acting, or how you would expect it to act.
The temple seeks the source of this darkness in the wrong places. It burns shopkeepers and wise women and ignores the hidden hands who are its true architects. You seem to be seeking in the right place.
Brian, join us.
Thank you. I know you have no reason to trust me, but
Okay, I can't use Brian yet. I would like to. Level 13 fighter. Awesome. So I can have 6. I think it's 8 squares, so I can have 6. So that means that I can then summon some other mobs as well. Because I know that in the original Bard's Tale you had to have a party slot free to summon something. I'm not going to change my party at the moment. I will get Brian when I open the final.
lead on, friends. I am yours to command.
Brian of Dawn. Okay, the other mechanic in the game that's quite interesting is you get songs, so abilities. They call them abilities, but they're songs. They do different things. So this one activates standing stones. Sometimes you find like painting on a wall, which is like a trowel secret sign. And if you use this song, it shows you some hidden treasure. This one breaks down weak walls. This one rebuilds broken stone structures. So let's see what it does to this tower. It built. Oh, cool! It built the save. Totem. These save totems, I normally, if you consume them, you get experience. I think binding just binds you to this spot. I'm going to consume this one. You get healing as well when you save. Because I'm not sure I need to come back to this spot again. Okay. So I think that's it for this section. Actually, I'm about to go into a new section for a new quest. And I think I'll show you that. I think I've pretty much unlocked all of the. If it tells you what it's called. I'm not sure what section I am. I mean, actually, it doesn't have a name. That's all right. That's all right. I love this. I love the views. Even though you can't go there, it just makes the world feel big and stuff. Let's quickly have a look in this new area. So overall, I'm really enjoying the game at the moment. The combat, turn-based, very tactical. The world's quite immersive. There's some little mechanics that are quite interesting, as I said, like the song mechanic. Can I save again here? Yeah. Save again here. Okay, I guess it would be nice to be able to explore the world a bit more, but, you know, that's not what the game's all about. Okay, the Atian Tunnel. Okay. Scary. Atian Tunnel. Okay. Feels nice and atmospheric again. You only get one option here. I do feel if I don't consume it, I do feel like I'm losing XP, to be honest. Oh wow, look at this. Okay guys, I'm going to stop here because I think that I might make a video out of this, because this looks like it might be pretty interesting. Very spooky, atmospheric dungeon section, hopefully. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Yeah, sorry. Before I go, I was just saying about my opinions of the game. Yeah, I mean, as I said, the combat's interesting. The turn-based stuff can be quite tactical. Immersion, lots of immersion. Story's okay. Voice acting's pretty good. But yeah, but it's the atmosphere and immersion that I'm finding really good. And we'll come back and do this little dungeon bit in the next video. Thanks for watching.